Welcome to another episode of A Moment of Tiki, coming to you from the Lagoon of Mystery, my home tiki bar in Central Texas. One of the most critical elements of any great tiki bar is the lighting. Lighting sets the mood, sets the ambiance, and has a major impact on your guests' perception of your tiki space and the otherworldly, the escapist elements to it. My tiki bar being outside is critically dependent on this because during the day, the sun illuminates everything, but at night, that's when I get to shine, so to speak. Because of the outdoor nature of this, I have to do regular maintenance on my tiki space. Earlier, I had to replace several of my projectors. I have inexpensive ocean wave projectors that shine up onto the roof of the ceiling of my tiki space. This dates back to my decision, because this is an outdoor space, to paint the ceiling blue. And on top of that, paint silhouettes of various sea creatures and stuff onto the ceiling so it would create the illusion of being underwater, going with the whole Lagoon of Mystery motif. To complete the illusion, I purchased a number of different projectors that project LED patterns of ripple effects. Some worked better than others. Eventually, I installed these lights and hardwired them to come on with a single switch. So earlier, I took on the task of replacing some of my underwater projectors which have broken down. None of the projectors that I have are rated for extended outdoor use, and over time the heat and humidity and dust that's gotten into them have caused them to break down, either stop projecting or stop the wave motion or any number of elements. Without that, the illusion is broken. It doesn't have the same effect of projecting that you're underwater. And so I need to replace those, and in doing so, reconnect it to the main electrical grid so they can be turned on and off all at once with the flip of a switch. To complete the effect of being underwater, I added projector lamps that project ripple waves onto the ceiling. This is one of them. This one dates from 2017, and unfortunately it has gone out. These are not designed for outdoor use, certainly not continuous outdoor use, and even though it is sheltered, just dust and temperature extremes and humidity have gotten the best of it, and it is no longer working, so it needs to be replaced, which is what I'm doing now. First, I need to remove the bamboo that is covering up the power cord. And when you work with electrical systems, especially those that are hardwired into your home grid, make sure that the circuit breaker is turned off when you do so, because you don't want a nasty shock. You can see what I did here is splice the wire that's hardwired into the home grid to the plug. Then to weather seal it, I used electrical shrink wrap over this to ensure that it would be watertight. I wasn't expecting or wasn't anticipating the light to go out at any point, so this is not predisposed for easy replacement. So first I have to take the shrink wrap off. I put several layers on here. Since I now know that the projectors are going to need to be replaced every few years, I'm going to facilitate that and not make it quite so difficult on myself by using bullet disconnect joins. And these are sockets that will greatly facilitate the replacement of these lights. I'm crimping the female socket onto the end of this wire, and the male end will go on the end of the replacement. Just crimp them on there, and this is a solid fix. To hardwire the replacement light into the electrical system, I need to cut off the plug. And to install the bullet connect, you need to strip the wire. And I need to strip each of these individual wires as well. Since these lights are relatively cheap Chinese imports and fairly thin braided strands of copper wire, so I'm twisting them to make them easier to deal with. Now, take the bullet connector, place it in there. Now I'm going to use this to crimp it in place. I like to crimp it twice. And repeat with the second. And you can see you have the two bullet ends right there, and they will slide into the female socket like that, all the way. There we go. And this should facilitate the easy replacement of the lights in the future should this one go bad. At this point, we are ready to replace the old light entirely. I'm going to unscrew the bracket here. We're going to install the new bracket. Okay, now we install the light. And up here, we place the bullet joins together. Voila! Now to put the bamboo cover back over the wire. And we're done. The light has been installed and fixed, and we are ready to project. And now for the last step. That it's all installed, the base programming of the projector that I'm installing here has it cycle through all the different colors and has the ripple disc inside spinning at a fairly high rate of speed. So I take the remote, set it to blue, and then slow it down. Now it projects a nice, relaxed, tropical wave ripple on the ceiling. It's nice. Another element of my lighting are the tiki shades that go over the globe lamps on the underside of my ceiling fans. The light underneath did not look tiki at all. So the most direct and simple solution to this was to create a shade that would go over said lamp. And that's what I did. And this is what we have here. Now over time, even though these are under shelter, under the covered porch and shaded from direct sunlight and direct exposure to the elements, there's enough reflected UV to dull and degrade them, the bamboo I used in it, over time. So I'm going to refresh it by using amber shellac. Amber shellac is, well, you can make your own. It comes in flakes, but I buy this pre-mixed out of convenience. It's fairly thick, so you can cut it, thin it out some with denatured alcohol, and it goes on very easily. It dries very quickly and leaves a warm amber sheen on the bamboo or any other surface that you choose to apply it to. And this brings it back to life, so to speak, and gives it a rich, warm color that really pops in the context of a tiki room. Now, the way I built these shades was nothing terribly complicated or advanced. Anyone can do it. What I did was get hoops, crochet hoops made of bamboo. I've got a 12-inch and also an 8-inch. And I glued them up so they wouldn't come apart. I removed all the metal adjustments that are used in crocheting. And with that done, I drilled holes in the crochet hoops and used wires to attach 10-inch long pieces of bamboo. With the crochet hoops wired in place, I then got jute twine and wrapped it around, covering up all of the wires that I had used to attach the bamboo poles, lengths, 10-inch bamboo lengths, to the crochet hoops. Once that was finished, and mind you, it looks like it went fairly quickly. This took better part of a day, and I did 5 of these, so it took a fair bit of time commitment to get them done. Once that was finished, I purchased some tapa print. It's not genuine tapa. It was a cotton print off Amazon that was orange, and I cut it, measured and cut, and then glued it to the inside of this cylinder shade that I had built. Using thumbtacks to hold it in place until the glue dried. And once all that was finished, I went over all the surfaces with amber shellac. The final piece was how to attach it, and I attached it to the fan using a very straightforward, simple method. I got 2 gate hooks and wired them so that each one would loop around the top of the existing light on the fan and hook into a wire loop on the back side. So you had 2 of them going up and around the light to form kind of a crisscross. And with the gate latch hook in place, they're held solid and stable. And that's all there is to it. Very, very simple solution to a very common tiki problem. And you know, anyone can do this for any tiki lighting situation. If you have a ceiling lamp or just a regular ceiling light fixture, not even a ceiling fan, you can do this to replace it. And it didn't take a lot of effort, didn't take a lot of technical skill, certainly didn't take a lot of artistry on my part. There was just a lot of trial and error. And the end result looks quite nice. It looks a lot more complicated than it actually is. So remember, a great deal of your tiki bar's impact comes from the lighting. So you can spend a lot of money on getting some fantastic lights, and I know they're out there. Or you can spend, what, $3-4 on crochet hoops, find some old bamboo that you can cut into appropriate lengths, spend a few more bucks on jute twine, and some cheap fake tapa print off of Amazon or Etsy or Spoonflower or any of the other places where this type of thing is readily available. And you've got yourself tiki ambiance in glowing form. Until next time, from the Lagoon of Mystery, we'll keep a light on for you.